Canadian weather is just genuinely the worst thing to ever exist. It is either always way too hot or way too cold, and as someone who hates both being really hot and really cold, I could not have picked a worse place to live. And I say picked even though I was born here. I did not choose to be here, although I will say, considering the current headlines, I do think I'd rather be in Canada than America. But who knows, maybe Brazil is cool. But yeah, Canada is almost always stereotyped as like a very cold place almost all the time. It is not always cold. For the last few years, every single year in June, we've had a heat wave. And wildfires. I think for 3 years in a row by now. We've had 2 years ago. That wafted its way over to New York City and people got really pissed. Blame Nova Scotia, I think. Or was it New Brunswick? Pretty much every season in Canada is just completely miserable other than I'd say the fall. Fall is like, it's actually a good enough temperature. It's like 10 to 20 degrees out, and like that's manageable. But then you have summer and it's like it's 40 degrees out. In the winter it's like negative 30, and then spring it's like allergies galore. Last month in May I was biking and I saw a literal like an entire person's lawn was just covered in dandelions. I don't usually get allergies, but I sure as shit did this year. Not bad enough to take medication, but like when you go from not having allergies at all to having allergies, it's pretty bad. I used to be very prone to nosebleeds, so I get very anxious whenever my nose gets runny because I'm like, oh shit, I'm having a nosebleed. And so the entirety of spring, every time I would get a runny nose, I would like freak out, like, oh shit, not this again, oh fuck. I guess we're talking about nosebleeds now. There was this one time I had a really bad nosebleed. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a patty of snot fused with blood came directly out of my mouth. Like, I would consider myself to be a pretty good writer. There is nothing that could describe that feeling. I've recently learned that my nosebleeds were tied to stress. I had my exams recently, and the second the exam hit my desk, immediate nosebleed. I googled it while I was cleaning up in the bathroom. Yeah, nosebleeds are occasionally linked to stress. It's June 25th. We are in the middle of a heat wave. It was 35 degrees out the other day with like some intense humidity. Like I go outside for a walk and it feels like I'm like swallowing a gulp of water. Of course I'm being a little dramatic, but like still, it is oppressive. It's a good excuse not to go outside for someone like me. I was walking my dog earlier today, and like, not even he fucked with the weather. He wanted to go back immediately. He did his thing, and then immediately like dragged me back home, and I was like, what the fuck? You've never done this before, bro. Bro, the winters. The winters. There was this one year, 2021 I want to say, where there was literally like, probably nearly 2 feet of snow. A lot of snow, to the point where I think that there was still some snow left over in April. My school is close enough to where I usually bike or walk. I remember this one time before I started biking, I was walking home and it started like pouring. And I don't mean like just like, you know, like oh, you're gonna get a little wet. No, it was like aggressive pouring. Like, I don't know what measurement there is for like raindrops, but there was like a lot of them. Yeah, something I've always liked about the shitty weather up here though is that if you get like, if it's a thunderstorm day, nothing happens. Everyone gets distracted because like it rains a lot, but when it thunders, it throws everyone off. And so it's really nice because that just means that you basically just get a free day. What isn't so nice though is when it thunders in the middle of a heat wave, but it doesn't rain. That's what happened last week. Middle of a heat wave, it started thundering as I was biking home, and I was just like, what the fuck? It's not even raining. If you're gonna start thundering, at least make up for it with a bit of rain to cool me off as I'm going 60 and a 40. There have been times where I've literally seen pavement melt. What inspired me to make this video was one specific experience biking home on garbage day in the middle of a heat wave. You ever been to New York? Yeah, it was bad. If you combine a heat wave with garbage day, I was practically not breathing. I passed by a garbage truck and I literally gagged. And that's not like a one-off thing. No, this happens a lot in the middle of the summer. I feel like Canada is most known for our winters, but for someone who lives in Toronto, the winter isn't like, you know, it isn't like horrid, but it can get pretty bad. There was this one time where it was negative 30. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to school today. And my parents were like, oh no, it's fine. It's -30. That's like the average temperature in fucking Antarctica. What do you mean? Oh, it's fine. Oh, you'll be fine. Just put on a nice winter coat. Maybe I'm just not built for the Canadian life, but like, Jesus, man. Yeah, this isn't gonna be a surprise to some of you, but I don't like going outside. Well, I do like going outside. I do really like the fall. Fall is definitely by far my favorite season, because it doesn't have any of the problems that I've been mentioning, and also just like aesthetically, it's very nice. Sometime in 2021, I very nearly had a heat stroke, I think. So this was like 2021, 2022. So I was not in shape at all, and I'm still pretty out of shape. Stupid idiot brain thought this is perfect weather to go to the park. It was like 33 degrees out. That was a horrible idea. I go there, I chill there for a bit, and then I'm like, okay, time to go back. Because this was when I was really into Pokemon Go. So in honesty, I mainly went to the park for that. Halfway through the park, as I was going back onto the road, I was just like, holy shit, I'm tired. It's been a while, so my memory's very foggy, but my brain felt like really foggy, and I was just absolutely panting. Like, I was sweating bullets. My vision was like blurry. There was a ringing in my ears. I feel like that's probably one of the closest times I've gotten to like dying, I think. Part of me does wonder if I would have collapsed out there. So sometime in late winter, I was, me and my siblings going about on a lake up north. There were little patches of ice, half melted, but it was fine. And so again, this was like 2021, 2022. So I was not in shape. I probably weighed like 270, 300. And I decided, oh yeah, it's about March. This is sneaker weather. And so we were hopping from little ice block to ice block. And so we get as far out as we can. And I jump to one and I slip. About half my body falls into the water, and I saw my life flash before my eyes in that moment. But I did make it. I scrambled back up, and we ran back into the house. Oh Jesus. Helpful. And that's probably where I would say that I do have a bit of agoraphobia. It's definitely like calmed down over the years. That was one of the main reasons for my summer agoraphobia. Anything above like 20 degrees and I check out. Whenever I go on vacations, my first question is like, is there air? God fucking damn it, dude. I think that having just these weather-related events that nearly killed me happen definitely contributed to my fear of going outside. And to specify, I'm not afraid of going outside. I'm afraid of going outside in certain weathers. And it probably doesn't help that I'm not too good with drinking water, which sounds like a joke, but I don't remember to drink water. Welcome to having ADHD, motherfucker. Yeah, but those two events definitely contributed to my weather-based agoraphobia. But I also really don't like just how much you have to prepare to go outside in the winter. I'm a very spontaneous person, just generally speaking. Whenever I get work done, fuck if I know. It just kind of happens. And when I want to go outside, fuck if I know. That just kind of happens. When you go out in the middle of the winter, you gotta like put on snow pants and a million layers, and you gotta get boots and shit. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to go outside and touch, well, I'd say touch grass, but really touch snow. How did I fall for that? It's fine. Oh, baby! Genuinely, that was the coolest shit I've done. Yeah. The rest of my family, though, they love either summer or winter, and, like, I don't get it. My mother, she loves summer because, you know, plants and shit. She's a real plant head, a gardener, a green thumb, if you will. Me, personally, I'm a brown thumb because I like sticking things up my ass. Can we get Can we get 7? My sister, more of a spring gal, because she likes rain, I think. My brother and father are businessmen, so they don't care for the weather. They care for taxes. But I'm gonna guess that means that their least favorite season is spring, because hey, that's tax season, eh? How about them taxes, eh? Hey, taxes, hey, taxes, hey, taxes, I pay taxes! I have to pay taxes! What advantage do you think that would have given you? I don't know, maybe if I lived somewhere else, I would like summers more, or winters more, because, you know, in some countries, people who come to, like, Canada for the winters, it's, like, so magical seeing all this snow, and, yeah, I will admit, seeing all that snow is great, but everything else is horrible. Yeah, I think this guy might be the street killer, but, we've had comebacks before. No, alright, that's the end of the streak. That's also the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Listen. If you want to move to somewhere with good weather, don't move to Canada because you think it's going to be cold. And if you do, move to, like, Quebec or something. I don't know.
Dude, making outros for YouTube videos is hard. Just like my...
Peter, what are you doing? Crack? What the fuck?